So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and today I'm going to be talking about the fight which took place on the weekend between Terence Crawford versus Israil Madrimov. Now this was a very good competitive fight, and for those people yet that haven't watched this fight, I'd urge them to go and watch it. It was a clash of styles between two fighters that are on, are at the top of their game at this moment in time. A lot of you guys and most people know Terence Crawford. You know what he's capable of, and you know he's obviously pound for pound the best at this present moment in time. And he is the main man, and he obviously moved up divisions in terms of trying to seek to be a four division world champion, and he is now because he beat Madrinov on points. But yeah, in terms of the actual fight itself, it was a harder fight than expected for Crawford because I didn't feel as if he possibly felt beforehand that Madrinov was going to cause him as much trouble as what Madrinov did. Um, yes, maybe the earlier rounds he probably thought, okay, this might be a bit tricky, a bit tough, maybe the first 6 rounds, but anything after that, which 6 rounds onwards, Terence probably thought that he'd probably start edging the pace and start, putting a bit more pressure on him and probably possibly stop him late on. But it wasn't the case, and obviously the fight went the distance, and Madrinov after the fights, he pretty much stated that he still had more left to give. He didn't obviously leave it all in the ring, and he was just a little bit disappointed with his actual performance, and that he would love the rematch with Terence Crawford. But yeah, I don't know where I don't feel as if we're going to see a rematch between the pair. Obviously, Crawford came out on top, and he's now looking for the bigger fights, and he pretty much said that in his post-fight press conference as well. So, in terms of him offering or giving that rematch to Madrinov, that's just not going to happen. But Madrinov is a good, credible opponent, and he will come back, and he will potentially claim maybe a version of the world title at some point because he is a good fighter. And in terms of that weight, there's no one really I'd probably say who's up there in terms of big hitters for the division. Yes, you've got some good fighters in there, but he's just took on, and literally went the distance with Terence Crawford. So if you could do that to Terence Crawford and make it a tough night's work for him, then anyone else in that division, he should do well against. You've also got Tim Tszyu. I was going to say Tyson Tszyu, but Tim Tszyu is a good name. But obviously, he lost his most recent fight. Was it against Fondora or something like that? Yeah. But so yeah, Madrinov will come back from this, and he's not an old fighter as well. And yes, if he perceives that he's got more to give, then hopefully he can show us in his next fight. But Crawford, on the other hand, obviously he did mention some personal things which went on outside the ring at the end of his fight, so maybe that was possibly playing on his mind during the fight, and maybe he just wasn't fully there, for this matchup. But obviously, if he is looking for the bigger fights, and the biggest fight out there at this moment in time is Canelo Alvarez, then he would have to somehow put on a much better performance, because obviously Canelo Alvarez is pretty much the man that most people want to fight against, because he is the cash cow. But yeah, just my thoughts really in regards to the fight. Yeah, I thought Crawford was Crawford. He wasn't excited, he wasn't brilliant, but he obviously got the job done. And sometimes when you're not firing on all cylinders, but you somehow manage to get the victory, they're probably the best performances really, because it just goes to show that if you're not all there and you're still beating people, some top end guys, then your ceiling's quite high, because when you are firing on all cylinders, no one's really gonna step to you or come anywhere near close to you really. So yeah, it's good that Crawford won, and hopefully we can see him in there against some bigger and better opposition. If he is looking to, let's say, maybe try and claim all the belts in that division, then you've obviously got Sebastian Fondora, who is the main obviously champion for the WBO, and then you've got a guy's name who's the IBF champion, who I'm not going to even bother try to pronounce, but he's 22-0 at this moment in time. And then you got Fandora. Yeah, he's got two belts. I didn't realise that. Yeah, he's got the WBO and he's got the WBC, whereas Terence is now got the WBA and he's got the WBO interim as well. So that's a natural fight really between him and Fandora. Could maybe they work out some sort of deal to maybe get that fight done maybe the end of this year or maybe early next year, who knows? But that's a nice fight if he is looking to try and clean up that division as well. And just imagine if he actually does clean up that division and he becomes a 4 division undisputed champion. How mad would that be? In terms of history, that would just be the ultimate history. I'm not sure if there's many or any boxer in history that's actually done that 4 division um, undisputed champion. Like that'd be crazy history. But yeah, let's wait and see what he does. He is obviously still the main man, and yeah, it was good to just see him in the ring again. A bit too long really, because so when you're fighting against, well, when you see a fighter like Crawford, who's at the top of his game, and he's only having like one fight a year, it's not really good. You want to at least see him twice a year, and that's the only like props really that I give Canelo Alvarez, is that he guarantees us 2 fights every year. Doesn't matter about the opponent. Doesn't matter if they're the best opponent out there. He gives us 2 fights a year, so he's staying active. You know what I mean? He's staying relevant, and that's something that you can't really say against Crawford. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in regards to the fight which took place on the weekend. Obviously, Terence Crawford came out there the victor in the end. Very, very close fight between the pair. 2 referees scored it 115, 113, and one scored it 116, 112. So yeah, very, very close fight on the scorecards, and Eddie Hearn was very frustrated in terms of he thought his man won, but yeah, it just wasn't to be. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and as always, please subscribe and comment. Bless.